Well, thank you for coming, everybody, to our online workshop of roller bottle making. Back to school. It's all happening now. Everyone's going back to school. Thank you for being here. Today, you will hear some tips and tricks to help your child stay alert, healthy, focused, well-rested all year long. And don't we all want a better year this year? So plus, we're going to show you how to make the 5 roller bottles that you are sure to find extremely handy once your children are back to school.
So, as Amanda said, thank you for coming. I guess I want to start by acknowledging that as parents, we all have really hard decisions to make. It's a tough job being a parent. I know I beat myself up all the time. I'm forever saying, oh, I'm such a bad mom. But sometimes we actually don't know what we don't know. And the decisions that we made in the past, we find out new information and we realize that we could have actually been doing harm to our children. So I just want to start off by saying that if this is the first time you hear some of this information, please don't beat yourself up. I didn't know it, like back probably 15 years ago, I was on a learning curve and I didn't know a lot of this stuff. Like I was using things that I later found out weren't great. So you don't know what you don't know until someone tells you. So today, hopefully you're going to learn a few things and and then you can make changes. Like for me, once I know something, I can't unknow it. So then I start making changes and for the better. When I was a kid, I actually had bronchial asthma and I was worried that my girls might suffer from the same fate. Did you know that 1 in 9 Australian people now have asthma? Like that's a lot. So if you start doing your own research, you'll actually find out how everyday cleaning products, personal care products, and even pharmaceutical drugs are all formulated with harmful chemicals and synthetics. And these can be damaging to the body long term, particularly to the lungs when we're breathing them in. They can cause developmental and hormonal issues. It's definitely something we want to avoid with our precious growing children. And it can be hard to know which products we can trust. So I was stoked when I found Young Living 12 years ago. They're a total health and wellness company. So I didn't even say what my name is, I just realised. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Kim Thompson and I am a clinical aromatherapist. I have been using Young Living's essential oils and their low tox cleaning products for 12 years. I'd previously been a label reader and this book was like my Bible. I used to carry it in my handbag and I would go to the supermarket and I'd look up I'd look up baby wipes and I'd say, oh, look, there's this ingredient in baby wipes. Oh, there's scary face. I won't buy that. And it used to take me forever to go to the supermarket. Even I went to the health food shop and I would pick up nappy wipes and I'd be horrified that they were made with organic cotton and all these nice stuff, but then I'd see propylene glycol or I was trying to avoid sodium lauryl sulfate, which is in a lot of bubble baths and anything basically that foams up. And I was trying to avoid colors and triclosan. Triclosan is huge at the moment because it's in all your hand sanitizers and we're all sanitizing and things like that. And a lot of the colors that are in kids' products, because they make them bright yellow or pink, those chemicals, parents avoid them in food. They won't give their kids red and yellow food colouring, but they're in the products that they're using and they're putting them on their bodies and they're soaking them in. And some of these chemicals actually can cause kids to bang their heads against a wall. Like that's pretty scary stuff. So these days, my supermarket shopping has got a lot quicker. I even had to get Jeremy to go and find this book because I haven't used it in a long time. I've now got an app on my phone called Ingrid for when I do need to look up an ingredient. But since I found Young Living, I'm no longer having to be the avid label watcher or reader that I was before. And I guess I want to say right up front, I didn't jump in on Young Living straight away either, and I didn't believe everything they said. I actually said to my mother-in-law who introduced me to Young Living, I'm not joining your cult. Like that's what it seemed like. These people were fanatical about oils and about Young Living, and I still didn't trust them. I did my research. It took me 2 years to join Young Living after I'd been, she kept giving me stuff, and it took me a while to actually switch on to joining Young Living. But since I've actually been with the company, I've travelled to their farms overseas and I I've seen the testing for myself. So seeing really is believing. If you know what's in the products that you're using on your kids, then you can make better choices. And what about you, Amanda? How did you come to Young Living?
Oh, such a similar, not as long as you, Kim, but very similar. Like 4 or 5 years ago when I went to a hormones class, and I was always thinking to myself, I was so vigilant at reading the back of, never had the Chemical Maze book, but always looking at the back of the organic or greenwash. I was greenwashed for years and did that with the kids. And my kids are 10 years, the eldest is 10 years now. And so I just went, oh my gosh, this is why my child's not sleeping very well, because I'm just loading her full of chemicals. And I was so good with the food. And I was actually not, well, thought I was great, but I just didn't, what you don't know until you know it, then you can do better. So that was me. And because I had a girl, I was like, oh my God, I'm going to mess with her hormones. So I had to do something and make the changes. And like, that is why I was like, Young Living is perfect for me. And I loved the peace and calming, the Valor, the frankincense, and the lavender for our sleep and keeping the house all chilled. And it works. Like you use them, they work. So that's why I chose Young Living. So I have a saying, for every essential oil I use, it's a harmful chemical that I lose. And lots of people have this same motto. Essential oils are a great natural alternative for many of the products that contain harmful chemicals in our home. There are seriously a trillion ways that oils can be used, and we're going to show you just a few of them, just a few today we'll show you. You do not need to be an aromatherapist. I am not an aromatherapist. Kim's an amazing aromatherapist, but you don't need to be them. You just need the basics, and this is what we're going to teach you. There are 3 main ways that we use essential oils with children: inhaling them, so whether it's through the bottle or whether it is in a cold air diffuser. You don't want to heat essential oils, as they'll lose many of their health benefits, and then you'll just be left with a nice smell, and you'll have paid good money for them. And that's, and we want you to use them for a lot more. I love to diffuse essential oils in a diffuser for my children before bed, and also in the morning before school. I dilute them on my children's skin, and this is what we call not tropical. I'm tropical up here on the Gold Coast. Topical application. So I might dilute an essential oil and massage it into their back, or put it in the bath of a night time for them, make up roller bottles, which we're going to go through, and we're using them every single day. Essential oils are fat soluble, which means they don't mix that well with water. So in order to disperse the essential oil through the entire bath, that we would, rather than it just floating on top and just going through this part of their body, you put it in a good quality gel base, milk, carry oil, or anything that has fat in it. Bicarb soda and magnesium sulfates are nice to mix them with, but they don't work as well when dispersing the oils through the bath too. The third way I use essential oils is in our food and drink. I make for the kids. This can sometimes be a bit controversial for people, but really when we are adding essential oils such as peppermint or lemon to cakes and slices and icings, we're using the tiniest amount. And it's been used for years and years. And we just don't overdo it, and make sure that you're always using the culinary oils that have been labelled for food and drink use. So, and not all oils can be used in this way. That's why they've been labelled culinary. Young Living's culinary range essential oils do meet the strict labelling requirements of the Food Standards Australia and New Zealand.
All right, so many people think that children are just small adults, but in fact, that's not true. By weight, children actually consume more food, water, and they even breathe in more air than adults. So when you use essential oils with children, it's really important that you remember to dilute them so their little bodies, especially their liver, can actually handle them. On the recipe sheet that you would have been emailed before watching this class, there's a dilution ratio graph which shows you how to work out how many drops in 50 mils. Now, the roller bottles that we're making up today are 10 mils. So if you're making up a 10 ml dilution, you need to divide the total number of drops by 5 to get to the right amount. So for example, if your child, it says 15 to 30, today I'm going to make it the 30. And I'm going to divide 30 drops by 5 to get to the 10 mils. However, and that's why there's a total of 6 drops in each roller bottle. So we're doing 3 of 2 different kinds of oils. For younger or older children, or if your child has a health challenge, you need to adjust the drops. For example, if your child was recently vaccinated, you may wish to use less drops than the amount that says your age child. Or if your child is only like 6 as opposed to 12, you go on the lower end of the 15 to 30 kind of thing. So if they were 6, you might choose just only put 3 drops of oil in the 10 ml roller bottle. Particularly if they have health challenges, you want to go on that lower side. You can always add more, but you can't take the drops out, okay? So always err on the side of caution. In some cases, you'll also want to change the oils that are used in the blend. For example, I don't suggest using essential oils like eucalyptus, clove, or peppermint with children under 2. So if one of the recipes that you want to make up actually contains those and you're making it for a child under 2, then you need to sort of swap that out. So some safer oils for under 2-year-olds would be something like frankincense, lavender, and even lemon. All the recipes that we're making today use essential oils from the premium starter kit, which looks like this. Amanda's got one too. And basically, if you don't already have a premium starter kit, you can order them online with the link that you would have received on the instructions form for this workshop, or you can get back in contact with the person who told you about today's class. All right, so that's me. The first roller we're going to make is for sleep. So it really doesn't matter what color roller bottle, but I kind of color coordinated them a little bit. So I did the green one for sleep. Now, sleep is a 24-hour cycle, not just something that happens when you go to bed. Okay, so it actually, your sleep patterns and your child's sleep patterns can really be affected by what happens, during the day, because your body's making cortisol in the morning to wake you up. And then in the evening, it makes melatonin, and that's what makes you sleepy. And there's various hormonal factors that can actually affect sleep as well. So if you're making too much cortisol or cortisol at the wrong time of the day, you're going to be awake and not sleepy. But if you're not making enough melatonin, then you're not going to be sleepy at night. And serotonin is another important hormone also that influences sleep. So we want to make sure that it's happening in the right, the cortisol in the morning and melatonin, so that you're basically awake when you should be and tired when you should be, particularly for children. Now, a big thing that impacts on this is screen time. So you want to make sure that your child has some downtime, because the blue light and, the stimulation that they're getting in their brain is impacting on the melatonin production, and it's making them not sleepy, and it's wiring their brains, and they're staying more awake. The other thing that you want to make sure you do during the day, obviously healthy diet, stress management, and using calming essential oils that are going to calm you down. Like lavender is a great one. That will make a huge difference to your child's ability to sleep. If they're not getting enough sleep, their brains aren't resting, their bodies aren't resting, and they're not going to be able to concentrate and stuff like that at school. Routines are really important. I know, like, my girls are a little bit older now, they're 10 and 13, but particularly when they were younger, we had the same routine night after night, so that they knew. It was like their brain already switched on to the fact that this is the routine we follow, and they even do the same routine at their dad's house, so that we kept that consistency for them. This is our nighttime routine, and maybe it doesn't work for you, but we used to start with a bath. And as Amanda said before, I would put lavender oil in the bath. So whether I'd use the Kid Sense bath gel or a carrier oil or something like that, I cannot believe the number of parents whose children get urinary tract infections, and they're off to the doctors and getting them on, all kinds of antibiotics and other things to cure the urinary tract infections, when a simple thing that they could do is to switch out the bubble bath that they're using.
And if you don't know that, like, it really is the case of, if you don't know what you don't know. And my daughter had them little, and I thought I was using the good quality organic or greenwashed bottles in the supermarket, but she was still getting them all the time. So yeah, it wasn't until I learned these things, and here I have one son in my background too.
The next step after the bath that we did was putting on their pajamas and rolling on the sleepy roller. So we would roll it on the bottoms of their feet, and I would then massage the oil up their legs to help get the jiggles out. Or even you can apply some lavender oil, on the bottoms of their feet, and hold their feet. The next thing I do is pop on a diffuser, and 4 to 6 drops of lavender oil in the diffuser. For some kids, lavender actually hypes them up, and you don't want to use too much. So always start low and go slow with essential oils. So if this is the first time you've used essential oils like lavender with your children, start with 2 drops and work up to the 4 or 6 or however many. But if you notice that your child's sleep is affected, then you're probably using too much. And it also depends on the size of the room and the diffuser that you're using.
So one of the diffusers that we use is great for kids, and is the Feather the Owl. This is customized ultrasonic diffuser, functions as a humidifier, aroma diffuser, night light, white noise machine, owl in one. So it plays beautiful tunes. It has a beautiful night light that stays on all night once it's finished diffusing, and really only needs the 3 drops, 3 to 6 drops, even if that, depending on the oil. So it's kid friendly, simple to use. Your girls have used it ever since it came out. My 2 children, boy and a girl, love it and use it, and it goes on every night. And it has run every night. 3 years? I've been out 3 years. Yeah. So it goes for 10 hours, which is amazing. You simply fill it up to the line under here, pop a couple of drops in, turn it on, it automatically turns itself off when it's run out of water, and it's no risk of burning the house down from those nasty candles. And it's cold air, so children won't burn themselves if they touch it, and it doesn't give off steam like vaporizers, which can cause mold to grow. And with the premium starter kit, there's a range of oils that you can use overnight time, but mainly the sleep ones. But if they're congested, a little bit congested, then you would use the RC. So it's a great diffuser for the bedroom, and it's a great diffuser for the caravan, and it's a great diffuser for traveling because it's tiny.
So and then the last thing, obviously I read them a story while the diffuser's on, so they're inhaling that lavender oil and calming down. And then I kiss them goodnight and I turn off the light. And as Amanda said, our diffuser actually has a light function in it. So the girls have sort of like a night light on in their room. So if they wake up throughout the night, they've actually, they've got...
The whole house has one, actually, because the lantern diffuser's in the lounge room, and I've just lost the other diffuser. The Desert Mist diffuser is in the main room. So the house is all lit up, but not brightly, just enough to everyone to be able to go to the toilet without turning the lights on.
All right, so who's ready to make their first roller bottle? So essential oils, I just want to say, don't actually come out of this big hole in the middle. I don't know if you guys can see that, but they don't actually come. Oops, I just dropped lavender oil on my computer. It'll be very calm.
I saw that.
That big hole is like an air hole. So I don't know if you've ever bought a water container from the supermarket and you've stabbed it with a knife and then it pushes the air in and helps the water run out the tap faster. Well, that's what that air hole does in your essential oil bottles. The actual oil comes out of a tiny little like in the rim around the outside, there's another hole, and that's where the oil comes. So if the oil isn't flowing out as much as you'd like, don't hold your oil bottles when you drip them up, straight up and down, because it blocks off that air hole. You want to hold it on a 45-degree angle. If it's not dripping out as fast as what you want, you roll it around in your hand, and that, because the little, the hole might be on the top rather than the bottom, and it's stopping the oil from getting in it. Or the oil might need warming up. If you live in a cold area, just whack it down your bra for a little while and it warms the oil up and it drips out faster. Just a little tip there. And I guess that little plastic thing we call a drippolator, it's just a fancy name because it's designed to drip oils out so that your child doesn't pick it up and drink a whole bottle, like, you know, of essential oil. Although essential oils may be natural, you should still keep them out of reach of children because you don't want them drinking out of the bottle. Always read the label. Often people send me messages going, oh, how do I use this oil? Like, do I need to dilute it or whatever? Best thing to do is read the instructions. They all tell you how to use it, if it needs to be diluted, and best of all, if there's any contraindications that you need to be aware of, such as, you know, using if you have epilepsy or you're pregnant or anything like that. But always, you know, if you're on medication, speak to your health professional before using essential oils. And if your child or you have any irritations from using an oil, remember Amanda said before that they were fat soluble. You need to dilute them in a carrier oil or a vegetable oil rather than trying to wash them off, because they won't wash off. The water will actually, you know, it doesn't disperse the molecules. So sometimes it actually feels like it's burning more. So you want to get some even good old olive oil out of the kitchen if your child, like one day I was filling up an oregano bottle to do some raindrop and I pushed the drippolator back in the thing, and the tiniest amount of oregano just happened to splash on Caitlin as she walked past, got in her eye. How unlucky. Oh. I got the olive oil and poured it on her and she was fine. But, you know, it did sting when it first got in her eye. So there is actually 3 places that you shouldn't use oils, and that is the eyes, the ears, and your genitals. And that's why it's really important to dilute oils when you're using them in a bath, because you would hate to get something like peppermint oil down there, let me tell you. Basically, you don't use them anywhere where there's, you know, membranes and things like that. And the other thing that I just want to let you know, because we're going to use lemon oil today, the citrus oils are generally photosensitive. I have a blog post on my Hot Oily Mama page which actually tells you which oils are photosensitive and how much. Lemon is one of those, and lime. And so when using those, you either put them where the sun doesn't shine, so underneath your clothes, or avoid going out in the sun for about 12 to 24 hours. It's similar to putting lemon juice on your hair when you were younger and it bleached it. You'll get a pigmentation. So you don't want to be rolling the roller that's got lemon oil on your child's chest and then your child goes to the beach, because let me tell you, well, not only red, but then they end up with this white splotchiness. Yeah. So yeah. So as I said, hold the bottle on a 45-degree angle and turn it around if you need. Now we're going to do 3 drops into the lavender oil, of the lavender oil. You'll notice that we use glass roller bottles, not plastic. Essential oils eat away at plastic, so you want to make sure that we've got glass. My preference is to use amber coloured roller bottles, the brown colour. They actually prevent oils from oxidizing, essential oils and the carrier oils, the best out of any colour. Then your coloured ones, and clears last. Now, that's not to say that I don't make things in clear roller bottles, because I do, but I'm just really aware that those ones in clear bottles will go off faster than the ones in coloured roller bottles.
They really do, don't they? If you don't use them, if you make something like this, 5 roller bottles, and you don't use them on a regular basis and you don't use a good carrier oil, it will go yuck.
Yeah. So I use the lid to actually get the cap off. So you basically just use the lid on like an upwards, and it's hard to show you on the video, but basically an upwards motion with the lid so that it pulls it up. Like you can see that it's come out. The other thing you can do is you can buy cute little, you know, nifty gadgets if you're making a lot and you find it difficult, or if you've got sort of arthritic fingers or something and you can't get the roller bottle up, you can use those. Also, if you haven't got a very steady hand, get yourself a little funnel and you can pop it in the top. Once again, metal. I don't use plastic. Oils eat away at plastic. And so I just do 3 drops of the lavender. So 1, 2, 3. Now, this isn't like baking a cake. If you accidentally do 4, just be, you know, you could do 2 of the orange, but, you know, like it's just something to be aware of, that, you know, it's not going to fail and not going to not work if you do 4 drops of something. So then we're going to do 3 drops of orange oil. So 1, 2, 3. Orange, actually, my girls have a saying, which is orange makes you happy. And that's the happy oil, but it's also really, really great for sleep. So, and then we're going to fill up the roller bottle with V6. Do you want to talk about V6 while I fill this up, Amanda?
V6 is a Young Living blend of 7 different vegetable oils with different benefits for the skin, and it doesn't leave an oily residue on your skin. So however, if your child has nut allergies, then some alternatives are jojoba, apricot, coconut or fractionated coconut oil or grapeseed. But one of the oils, grapeseed, which we would mainly, I find, is the first one that oxidizes the quickest. Yeah. You could use avocado oil. Some children can still be allergic to some of these or have allergies, or even a light olive oil you could use instead. But the V6 is the blend that is amazing for our skin.
Yeah. So now you just sit the roller on top. You don't need to force it in. A lot of people are there forcing this in. You actually just sit it on top and use the lid to screw back on, and it pushes the roller into place. Yeah. Isn't that cool? How simple was that?
That is very simple. Everyone must be learning a thing or two already.
Yes, I hope so. Let's get a sleep one ready to go.
I'm going to talk about the calm, but Kim is going to make it while I'm talking at the same time, and I'll hold the ours up because I didn't get the fancy, beautiful coloured rollers. I've only just got some plain amber ones at the moment, and Kim's got those fabulous labels too. So they're so worth it. So school can be a rough time for everyone. It can be a rough time for me too, mums as well. So this is very good for us. It's good for the whole family. And it's filled with excitement, and it's also filled with massive anxiety. The best way to combat stress quickly is to use essential oils. Inhale them, get them up your nose quite quickly, and especially in the mornings. The tiny molecules go deep into the brain, straight to the places where we manage all the emotions and stress. And one of my favourite mum tricks is to apply favourite calming oils to a diffuser bracelet. A diffuser bracelet looks like so, with the little lava stones on there, and they can wear it all day. You apply like 1 or 2, roll it around your arm just before school. I let the kids pick their own oils which they want to use. Often it's Vela, often it's lavender or peace and calming, just orange. Orange is a great oil for everything, isn't it, really, for moving through the day. And when we aren't using Vela though, and we do go through a lot of bottles, believe me, it's a lifesaver when the kids have butterflies and are anxious about something, to do a talk or need to read in front of the class. That's always a big one for the kids. And even just going into a new classroom, so which they're going to all in the next couple of weeks. Mine don't go back for a week. I think Kim's go back on Monday. Yeah. Like, it's all brand new and it's hectic for them. So, and the next best 2 favourites apart from Vela are, for this roller blend that we're doing, is Stress Away and Peace and Calming. This calm roller is perfect for those first day jitters, big school events, swimming carnivals, speeches, which I just spoke about. And so in your blue bottle, bottle that you've got, that says calm on there, we're going to put 3 drops of Stress Away.
3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
And look, the name says it all. It is like a vacation in a bottle. It really, really is. And in the premium starter kit, you get these little roller bottle tops, just a roll of Filtman, and you can pop those on too, and you can wear it as a perfume during the day. So it has vanilla, lime, lavender, copaiba, and then that's what's in the Stress Away. In the next 3 drops is Peace and Calming.
So here we go.
This is a beautiful blend that lots of Young Living members wear as a perfume. It contains blue tansy, orange, tangerine, orange, 2 beautiful citrus oils, orange and tangerine for calming us down. Fill the roller bottle with V6, and that's it. I usually give my roller bottles a bit of a shake, which Kim will do, and so do I. And I always give them a little shake before I roll on, because I mix all the oils up. Infuse the carrier oil. So that is calm.
So I'm using a big bottle of V6. These actually come in a smaller bottle as well.
With a pump.
Yeah, with a pump, but we go through so much of it in our house, we buy the bigger ones. So once again, I'm just sitting that roller in top and using the lid to screw it on. And there you go. All right, the next one we're going to do is Focus. And Focus is in our red roller bottle. So Focus, the main ingredient in Focus is peppermint. Peppermint's great for focus, right? It even peps them up. So if you're wanting, like maybe they're doing their homework or something like that, get them to take a drop of peppermint and put in their palm of their hand and breathe it in, put it in their diffuser. Whether during school, I mean, obviously, like my girls' school is a bit funny about them wearing oils, especially strong ones like peppermint to school. But, you know, like if I dilute them or get them to wear it on diffuser jewelry, like Amanda said before, peppermint I probably don't, but I've certainly sent the girls with Brain Power, which is a blend, before. It's great if they're learning new concepts or they're finding it really difficult to focus on tasks. So teach your kids to use the roller themselves. Now, my girls are old enough now, but in the past, I have handed one into the office, not a focus roller, but definitely a calm one. There was a time there where Tegan used to get really anxious about a lot of things, and I gave it to the ladies at the office. And then Tegan would roll it on herself, but she knew to go to the office and ask for it. And so she would roll it on her neck and, you know, down her chest and stuff like that. Basically, I've put this in the red bottle, but I just think that way, you know, the kids know that the red one is for folk. Like I've sort of taught my girls, it's similar to my microfiber cloth situation in my house. We have blue for blue and pink for sink, and yeah, I've just color coordinated so that they know the red one is for the brain, and it's really like, it's like a traffic light kind of thing. So what we're going to do is 3 drops of lemon oil. I'll just pop my little metal thing back in here. So 1, 2, 3. And then 3 drops of the peppermint that I talked about. I should actually say with the lemon, a lot of research has shown that just by inhaling lemon during a test, it actually helps to recall information. Yeah, so you want to be using lemon before you go and do a test, or if you're an accountant or you do something that's really repetitive, you make far less mistakes if you diffuse lemon while you're actually doing it, or even while you're studying. So that's just a great little tip.
Oh, that is a good tip.
Yeah, well, especially because aren't you studying?
It's a great tip for me.
But it's also good for getting sticky stuff off. So if you've got kids, without a doubt, they've probably got chewing gum somewhere or blue tack. I remember when Caitlin was little, she had the whitest of white hair and she got red plasticine in it. And I just dripped lemon oil on it and it literally dissolved before my eyes, and then we combed it out. So we're going to do the 3 drops of peppermint oil. Oh, maybe my peppermint 1, 2, 3. Oh, 4. My girls must need it. Intuition. But see what I mean by it wasn't dripping out, but when I rolled it around with my fingers, it dripped out faster. So then we're going to do the V6.
You do well with that big bottle, putting those into those little roller bottles without a pump, Kim.
I know, but that's why the funnel comes in so handy. Yeah, the funnel is great. Although you do have to allow it to sort of run in, like it gets like an airlock or something happen to it. You can get these online. I normally sell them in my shop, but I'm out at the moment.
The funnels?
Yeah. So I have silver.
Some $2 shops even sell them.
You want to make sure you get
a good.
Yeah, get metal ones and not plastic. Like this is a plastic one, but as I said, the oil plastic's okay if you're just pouring the V6 in.
Yeah.
You don't want to be dripping the oils. All right, and then we give that a little bit of a shake.
And some of the other popular oils, apart from peppermint, include cedarwood, vetiver, rosemary, brain power, like Kim mentioned earlier, gathering. They're all great for our focus and our brain and getting the job done. So you can make a focus roller up by adding 3 or 5 drops of these listed oils above, and some of those are blends like gathering and brain power. And if your child doesn't like the peppermint and lavender mix, but those handful are not actually in the premium starter kit. So, and then again, top 10 ml bottle, top it up with your carrier oil, bonus tip, use these oils along with the Stay Calm blend for the extra effort. One roll in the morning and then one roll just before school. Happy, we all want our children to be happy, yeah, at school, don't we? But for those times when they're just feeling like flat, I am very grateful that we've got our oils to give them that little boost and help them. As I mentioned before, orange makes you happy, so it's definitely in this blend. When we're going to use the orange roller bottle, so it is easy to remember. So this one's 3 orange and 3 lavender. This is for our happy.
3 frankincense.
Oh, what did I say? Orange and happy.
Orange and lavender's in the sleep one. Orange.
There you go. Frankincense and orange. Frankincense and orange.
So 3 drops. I'm going to do 1.
3 drops of each of these. And now this frankincense is great for kids with big emotions. I like to use it when we're feeling overwhelmed and we all need a bit of grounding. It's also great for unhappy skin and all things to do with skin. Remember that. Quality matters, particularly if you're going to use essential oils with children. Pure, high quality products are more effective and create lasting results, which is exactly what every parent wants. Seed to Seal, we are very, Young Living's very passionate, and the motto of Seed to Seal, which Young Living creates products for a purpose, not a profit. Its Seed to Seal promise is proof that Young Living has the best interest in mind. And Young Living owns many farms around the world. And again, like Kim's been to loads. I have been to a few too. And it's just really good to see the quality that they do. And the partner farms that have to abide by the Seed to Seal rules. Like Young Living goes above and beyond organic standards to provide natural products that work. Young Living farms on land with no use of pesticides. They hand weed the fields. They test its essential oils multiple times in like the $1 million labs before it comes to us. So it goes through such rigorous program to get before it becomes in our hands and we use it. So it's really high standards, high quality. Young Living will not bottle it and send it to us if it's not right. And this goes for their other products too, like the V6 carrier oil that we've been using in the rollers. It's the same standard. The Seed to Seal standard goes across the board for all of their products. Now you filled it up with the carrier oil, Kim?
Yeah, and I actually rolled it on because I love the smell of orange and frankincense together. It's just so nice. So I use it when I'm feeling a little anxious. So, which, the last 2 years, I can't believe how, it's changed, my mental health and my, life. And so I've certainly been using a lot of those oils and Valor. All right, the last one we're going to do is the tummy one. And this roller is for happy tummies, okay? And I don't know about you, but like my girls seem to get unhappy tummies in the middle of the night.
All the time. And so do mine. So do mine.
Yeah, you want to have something on hand that you can do to help them be happy again. So this is also great, this blend for butterflies in their tummy. So if they've been feeling anxious and you've used the Calm roller or the Happy roller, you can also use Di-Dries on their tummy and roll it around in a circle. Or when going on bus trips, I know where we live in the bush and they have to drive down the hill and round the corners and all that kind of stuff. And the girls start to feel a bit funny in the tummy. And so I give them a roller and often they roll it on, Tegan more so than Caitlin, she can read a book and all kinds of things in the car without any problems at all, but not Tegan. She can't do anything other than be in the car. And long car trips. So you've got a story because you use
I use it on Zach a lot and he's only 8 and he's been probably using oils now since he was 1 or 2 because again, I've been using oils consistently for 5 or 6 years now. He will go and grab it when he's feeling a bit off or he wakes up in the middle of the night. He doesn't actually even need to come and see us anymore. As long as he can see and find the roller bottle, he'll roll it on his tummy. And it just, because Digest just soothes, you can feel it soothing in there. And once he's rolled it on, back to sleep. Love it. We love it in our house.
And I take it overseas when I travel a lot. Like one of the first trips that I went on with Young Living was actually to Bali, and I took it with me there. Even if I've eaten a huge meal, I use it, or for a curry, or if I've been on an airplane, like I find airplane food doesn't necessarily lead me to have a happy tummy. And it contains essential oils that have been used for cooking, like tarragon, ginger, peppermint, juniper, fennel, lemongrass, and it's even got patchouli in it. So.
Yeah, which are perfect for our tummies. And they're like we were saying, the kids use it just as much as we do.
So this one's got 3 drops of the Digest. So 1, 2, 3. Digest isn't the greatest smelling essential oil. I know when I started with Young Living, I thought aromatherapy was all nice smelling, perfumey kind of oils. And I soon realized that the therapeutic benefits often come from plants that don't smell very good. And Digest has those, a lot of those oils that don't smell great in it. Now we eat peppermints after dinner to help us, have happy tummies after dinner if we've eaten too much. And so peppermint goes in this one too. So you're going to get 3 drops of that as well.
And that will be very cooling on their tummies.
Yeah, and it helps with the smell because they, particularly if your child has sensory issues and they don't really like the smell, find the peppermint sort of gets rid of the smells.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm just going to fill that up with the V6 again.
So consistency is the key when it comes to using oils. Like back in the day, we did things differently. Parents would wait until they had to keep their kiddo home from school, and then they would go to town, dousing them in their magic plant juices. Now that we know better, that we can use essential oils every day instead of waiting for a problem to develop. The oils can help you maintain you and our health. So the child's health and our health. Nothing is foolproof, but if you find yourself or your kiddos needing to stay home, double the frequency with which you use the essential oils. Popular everyday oils for wellness: frankincense, peppermint, thieves in the kit. One child still hanging around. Lemon, oregano, bergamot, eucalyptus. Just pick a few of the favorites and diffuse a few drops before and after school.
Yeah. And one of the things that I actually love about Young Living is that you can help your friends get started. And so, like, obviously, once my girls went back to school, I was looking for something to do. I was looking for something for me. And, it helps also, if you can make a little bit of extra money on the side. And I wanted a side hustle. So something you may not realize that actually comes with your Young Living membership is the option to help your friends and family. If you help 2 or 3 get started with their own Young Living kit, it actually helps pay for yours. So Young Living pay you a referral bonus, which can help pay for your products. So in the beginning, it's a great way to get your products for free. So for every friend that you help to order a premium starter kit, which contains a lot of the oils that we've talked about today, you give them your member number. That's your referral number. It's just your member number. You tell them to plug it in when they go through the checkout, and Young Living send you a $65 thank you check. Well, technically they put it in your bank account, they don't send you the check, but you know what I mean. So if you're like me and you're thinking, no, thanks, I'm not interested, that was my first thought, but look where I am now. That's okay too, because you don't have to. You can simply buy Young Living products without having to do the business or look at it as an income opportunity at all. But if you are interested in the income option that Young Living has, please reach out to me or to anyone that referred you to today's class and we can chat. You can also check out the income disclosure statement, where you can see the averages of what the different ranks in Young Living are making. And you can do that by going to youngliving.com/IDS. IDS just stands for income disclosure statement.
Yeah. Sorry about the noise. Did you hear the vacuum cleaner start?
We didn't. So that's it basically. But this is not just about essential oils for us. This is a lifestyle that we live every day. We want to help other families to become healthier by ditching the nasty chemicals from their homes and using natural alternatives instead of the synthetic chemicals and stuff that's actually damaging your children's health. We'd love to help you and your family on this journey in whatever way we can. So please feel free to reach out and ask questions. You can always contact me through any social media or through my website. Just look up Hot Oily Mama, or Amanda is...
Go, yes, at the same time, yeah, through Amanda Grist or through All Green Souls. But that's right. It's nice to be able to help people in a more healthier way. So, yeah.
Yes. So thank you for joining us, and we hope to see you on a workshop real soon.